What's up, y'all? Welcome back to City, Stay, and True to Yourself podcast. I am Tex Wambui, your host here, and I am thrilled about today to take you through an incredible experience I had at the Community Colleges League of California Convention, aka CCLC. So, imagine stepping into a space teeming with visionaries and leaders shaping the future of our education system. The league usually annually hosts this convention, and this year I had the privilege to attend as a Pipelines to Possibilities Fellow, aka P2P. This convention wasn't just about gathering. It was a forum for thought-provoking discussions and enlightening sessions that delved into various topics, including the climate practices in community colleges, equitable dual enrollment expansions, and strategies to address student basic needs. A couple of the sessions that resonated deeply with me were centered around advocating for Black learners unapologetically and ways to dismantle barriers hindering academic achievement. There was also a focus on legislative matters affecting community colleges. Some of the ones I can remember are AB 358 and AB 1400 and other federal and some other regulations out there, which some of them focus on addressing housing insecurity for community college students and also offering support for historically Black colleges or universities, respectively. So, being part of this convention was like stepping into a world that's so new to me, right? I was rubbing shoulders with influential leaders, presidents, CEOs, and superintendents, board of trustee members, and it gave me profound insights into the essential components crucial for driving transformative change, and another word that I actually learned, transformative learning within our education system. The discourse revolved around student support services, curriculum development, also workforce development, and the urgent need for an overhaul in academia's landscape. It was an epiphany, realizing the parallels between reshaping our representation in leadership roles and changing the face of academia itself. Wink, wink. Anyways. So the experience steered me towards an equity-driven approach in education, resonating with the need for innovation and change in leadership. Through the Pipelines to Possibilities program, P2P, I transitioned from an internship where I soaked in mentorship and guidance to becoming a fellow. This shift allowed me to have exposure to educational leaders, their work dynamics, and personalities in these spaces. It was a gateway to understanding the intricate nuances of curriculum advocacy, student support services, and fostering collaborative efforts to dismantle the oppressive norms that have long saturated these educational institutions. So one of the things is faculty alignment and networks. Aligning faculty with the needs of the student population is very, very significant. The importance of funneling faculty into the California community college system and leveraging networks for hiring, advancing initiatives, and securing funding cannot be overstated. I will say this again. The importance of funneling faculty into the California community college system and leveraging networks for hiring, advancing initiatives, and securing funding cannot be overstated. So, I say this because one of the things I definitely think is important is significance of data collection. Data collection is the compass guiding efforts. Like I said again, data collection is a compass guiding our efforts. It's crucial to collect comprehensive data to effectively address the evolving needs of our education system. A good example of this is Pipelines to Possibility program. I want to put a spotlight on the impactful Pipelines to Possibilities program, bridging HBCUs with California community colleges to develop future faculty and administrators, fostering a diverse educational landscape. So, in addition to, all those legislative changes and policy pushes, I believe initiatives like the Pipelines to Possibilities program, P2P, play a pivotal role in reshaping the landscape of California community colleges. This internship co-op partnership, supported by the funding from, the California Community College Chancellor's Office, aims to foster diversity and equity within our educational institutions. So, this is where now the faculty pipeline and student success comes in, as I was saying earlier, faculty alignment. P2P focuses on creating a diverse faculty pipeline through proactive recruitment, hiring, and retention of tenured faculty, thereby bridging equity gaps and catering to diverse student populations. It strives to reshape academia's face through collaboration, skill development, just like my experience, and equity-driven programming, to where, in my experience as an intern to fellow, I had to learn how to develop a curriculum that is something that meets the needs of my students, and it allows for them to understand that they can always provide me feedback on what I can improve on. And I think this faculty pipeline and student success aligns faculty representation with the student demographic within community colleges. So, faculty development and mentorship as well is something that's really important. I would like to also highlight how P2P is very important. It supports incoming faculty, such like me and others, through graduate internship program and mentoring opportunities, providing insights into California's community college system complexities. For example, me having the opportunity to be at this convention is an example of this. I was rubbing shoulders with the people who are in charge of the hiring, the people who are writing your damn checks. So, faculty mentors play a pivotal role in guiding P2P cohorts, offering strategies for employment success, and enhancing classroom practices focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And this is another area I want to touch upon, is the training focus area. Through my experience with P2P Pipelines to Possibilities, training curriculum, oh my God, today it's a really hard day to say words. Anyways, the training curriculum covers crucial aspects such as developing a diversity lens, equity and inclusion practices, assessing student learning outcomes, career development skills, and strategies for retaining a diverse student population, which fosters a holistic approach to the faculty development and the student success. Because you can't just have a successful teacher without successful students. You have to have both. And that is where I believe comes in. Now, the convention was a great experience. I found myself engaging with rhetoric and literature that I never really find myself doing on a regular basis. For example, there is a legislative policy, it's not a policy, but it's a specific one called AB 1400. And by the way, this is not for me to convince y'all to go out there and start protesting and marching. This is just to provide you some information on some few things. So, AB 1400, it supports for HBCU transfer students. And I think it's a high priority bill, offering grants of, I think, up to $5,000. I'm not sure on that. Y'all can go do the research on that. For California community college students transferring to historically black colleges and universities. And I think this financial aid ensures that these students benefit from supportive environments of HBCUs, which empower Black students to thrive academically and professionally. So, I would just like to acknowledge all the advocates for diversity out there. A big shout out to the college presidents and CEOs and superintendents championing diversity, equity, and inclusion within their campuses. Their commitment is instrumental in creating inclusive environments for all students. Now, I would like to address a specific thing that I learned about while at the convention. Over the last decade, nearly 600,000 Black students have fallen out of America's college system. More than half of that loss occurred in our nation's community colleges. Community colleges, at their peak, enrolled nearly half of all Black students. This decline is particularly alarming. And we're not going to sit here and start saying, let's blame COVID, let's blame this. No. This decline is particularly alarming given the role community colleges play as a gateways for many Black students to acquire high quality credentials for higher wage jobs and stability for themselves and their families. It's all about sometimes, can we find ways within our local communities to where we can break this generational curse that people have experienced. So, this decline is very bad. And these numbers are particularly notable as community colleges. They are serving to the local community. This is how you serve from a kind of a grassroots approach, I would say. It's where you can serve to where your arm can reach, you know? So I definitely think it's important now to call to action for Black Learner Excellence Initiative, which is something I learned about while at the convention through a presentation from a speaker. I think it was Dr. Keith Curry. So I think a nationwide coalition is needed to unite, to develop strategies aimed at boosting Black students' enrollment and completion in post-secondary programs. This call, I'm saying this to y'all as listeners. I urge you to talk to your policymakers, talk to your colleges, talk to your activists, philanthropic organizations, or anybody you know that has the opportunity to do something to bring about system and policy changes vital to improving outcomes for Black students pursuing degrees. And this obstacle faced by Black learners, Dr. Keith Curry, the chair of the Level Up and Get Real initiative and president and CEO of Compton College, he stresses the need for commitment to the success of Black students. Issues such as racial discrimination, which still goes on, and even as a matter of fact, all this affirmative action stuff going on. I'm not really gonna get into that today. Also, the competing demands at home and work and the high cost of higher education hinder Black learners from envisioning the value of attending college, contributing to declines in their enrollment and success. So, I would just like for our society to come to a moment here to understand that there's still work to be done. We have made progress. Progress can still be attained. Minimal progress every day is some form of progress, I believe. And some of the progresses, I would definitely say, some of them starts from policy-wise, such as AB 1400 and AB 358. And like I said, AB 1400 is a high priority bill aimed at offering grants of up to $5,000 for California community colleges transferring students to HBCUs. This initiative ensures that these students will receive financial support to thrive academically and professionally in the supportive environment of HBCUs. And the other one I said was AB 358, on the other hand. This one addresses housing insecurity in the community college system by streamlining construction processes, ensuring students have adequate housing options. And I think this can also go to the federal level to where there's definitely federal land grants out there available, which I learned about at a presentation. It was a session I attended during the convention where I learned about this. And there is definitely opportunities out there available from for different colleges to be able to provide actual housing to their students, which is at the local community. And think about what that does to that local community. It is a way of economic growth, social growth. There's so many positives that come out of there. You know, the cost might be high, but there's definitely funds out there for this. And I definitely not urge y'all to really go out there and do something about it. Anyways, I think I'm done for the day blabbering. So before we wrap up, let's just remember, it's important to think about the policies and the laws that make up our society and engage within your community. And to give a special shout out to P2P, Pipelines to Possibility, for taking action in the step necessary to ensuring there is a way of changing the face of academia and creating an inclusive education system that uplifts every student, especially my people, my Black people, and embracing diversity and paving the way for a brighter future. Now, as we always say on this podcast, pursue your dream, seize the day. Peace out.